Vezi că vine?
Down there.
Mătii!
I just spent 20 raids in Arc Header's new map, Stella Montis. And here's the thing, it's either the best or the worst map they've ever made. This map breaks fundamental extraction shooter principles, in my eyes at least, creates impossible spawn imbalances and somehow makes PvP both chaotic and sometimes frustrating. But the design details, absolutely incredible. Perfect lighting and atmosphere. Let me show you why this map is a PvP paradise and PvE not so much. But first, I need to show you what 6 spawn points concentrated in one area looks like. Because if you spawn near medical research, you're not extracting until you win a war. So, to lay down the summary, everything will be timestamped below. In this video, we'll talk about the layout of the map, the spawn points, loot, points of interest, the divide between players and how hard it is to push someone in some spots, the omnipresent darkness, and last but not least, Arc, and more specifically the Shredder. Now, the layout of the map, it's great, but to be honest, I expected some rocky tunnel sections, as right now it feels like a big underground facility connected by metal from one side of the map to another. But this minor subjective nitpick aside, the layout is incredibly intricate and confusing. I'd like to have the stairs between floors shown on the map like extraction points. Other than that, the bottom floor is a bit smaller and more distinct looking and easier to navigate than the upper floor. The map is very small, but it feels big because of the slow speed you clear rooms. You'll notice this when you have like, I don't know, 2 more minutes until the bomb drops and you want to rush to an extract that's on the opposite side of the map, thinking you will not make it. And when you start moving, you realize it's 200 meters away. If you find the metro entrance, because this is the real challenge, especially if you are new to the map like we were, you might still have some time left. The second point I want to touch upon is spawn points. Hot take here, by the way, but I think devs messed this one up. Take a look at this. No idea if this is accurate, but just take a look. 6 spawn points in close proximity on medical research, while none in atrium, business center, or maybe even one more into the assembly. This last one might be a bit bad of an idea though, because it's in the center of the map and you might be squeezed by many squads from all the angles. I don't know about that one, but there's no reason to have no spawn point in the business center and the atrium, in my opinion. My point is, too many spawn points near medical research explains what I'll show you later in the video. Stay tuned for that. Now the next topic is loot. It's plenty, but if you spawn late on this map, you are literally picking up scraps with no easy way to go someplace else, especially with all the squads running around. And even if you manage to do it, I'm pretty sure 90% of the time you end up picking up scraps again, even at the new location you want to go with. The red and yellow points of interest are pretty huge and few, making all the squads converging on the lucrative red one, medical research, located on the top section of the map. All other areas we found are not that good anyway, from our limited experience that is. Overall, I don't know what to say, because I feel devs nerfed loot in this patch, but again, take this with a grain of salt, as I did only 20 something raids on this one, so my sample size is pretty small. But between 3 people, we didn't find a single blueprint, not even a Bettina. The next point is points of interest. They are cool, often huge specific places you can fill your pockets in. We have 4 loot hotspots on the top floor, 2 red and 2 yellow, and only 2 on the bottom floor, because that's the smaller one. So I'll talk only about the ones I saw multiple times, so I don't have many thoughts on some other of these points of interest. I'll start with Seed Vault. Well, as you might have guessed, you get a lot of seeds here. I think I ended up with 100 plus seeds in my pockets after we looted this thing. And it's ×3, by the way. Weird mix of loot anyway, seeds and chemicals most of the time, even seeds and metal. Right above the seeds vault on the top floor there are the cultural archives. Perhaps we didn't discover the cool stuff in here, but for a red area opening 20 or so wooden crates, that makes less noise when you breach them, by the way, which is a big plus. It didn't give us much loot to show for back at Speranza, but we didn't open any locked rooms, as we didn't manage to find any key that opened a locked room in there. The next one is the lobby. I kinda like this place. It's pretty chill and it's pretty hard for you to get third-partied. I kinda like this place. It's pretty dark and it's a decent camping spot if you go upstairs because of the darkness and elevated position. You'll have the upper hand in a fight most of the time. Plenty of loot too, and we found the key of a locked room that gave us decent loot. Nothing special, but yeah, decent. And yeah, downstairs is full of bolts and 1 or even 2 shredders. These spawn on most colored points of interest, by the way. Start looting upstairs if you can and leave the arc downstairs alive for now, because some of the squad comes in and starts clearing them, giving you the opportunity to attack from above. But now let's talk about medical research. This is a decently sized red point of interest that has a ton of loot, and it's a place where every squad on the map converges, or so it feels at times. Take a look at this and keep in mind we were just spawning, and it was our first raid on the map. Yeah, bullets flying everywhere. Imagine how it felt. I thought I entered Call of Duty by mistake or something. Anyway, it's very hard to sneak on someone here because of the lights that are triggered by motion. The sound on this is a bit confusing as well because there are doors everywhere. Great area overall with plenty of looting and ganking opportunities, but you can't cover all angles in a squad of 3. So your best bet is to finish a fight fast and get the hell out of there, or you will die 100%, depending on your skill, of course, and your opponents. The next point I want to make is the divide between players and how hard it is to push someone in certain spots. Let me take a look. Yeah, so I'm talking about areas like Cargo Dock, which is to the right of medical research. While this map is cool looking and all, it's very hard to find someone and push. Often you and the other team will end up separated by environment with no way to push. So even if you down someone, there's no chance you will actually knock out that person, so it's just wasting bullets by that point. Yes, you have the option to retreat, or you have the option to push like a maniac, and this happens in multiple places of the map, and it's a bit annoying. The next point I want to make is the darkness. This is a thing on this map, and I love it. I personally love it. But I feel like players who alter the brightness, contrast and gamma settings are having a big advantage here. But yeah, I can do it too if I want, right? But I like immersion more. The next one is the arc. Now, we encountered only the shredder because I believe that the other arc is not yet unlocked. I love and equally hate that thing. Take a look at this. was laughing so hard during these encounters. My abdomen started to hurt. Yeah, it's a very cool arc. This bad boy doesn't have apparent weaknesses from what I noticed. I just hit it with heavy bullets and eventually it will explode, I promise. Just make sure you have a solid object between yourself and the bloody thing, you know, so you can kite it around. Luckily, arc can't open doors as far as I know. Maybe they can, I didn't notice that. But you can abuse line of sight doors on windows, especially in a medical thingy where you can jump through the windows from one side to the other and be instantly in cover. And yeah, make sure you go out of line of sight every time it's about to explode, because that shrapnel is going to hurt you so much. And fighting one of those bad boys is very messy and loud. By doing that, you signal everyone on the floor that you are fighting a shredder and they should come and flank you fast. And with all the noise, you will not even hear them, by the way. I would advise against fighting this thing as it doesn't drop special loot, and for the risk you take fighting it is just not worth it. But it's cool and adds a lot of tension and danger in the game. This is why I love the arc exactly the way they are. I don't want them nerfed or anything. It's perfect. So yeah, I didn't see the other arc released with this, the matriarch. Maybe it will be unlocked in a later stage. I have no clue. The last thing, and I'll keep this one very short because I don't have much to say. I want to talk about gear. Now, I'll briefly touch upon what works and what doesn't work on this map. Shotguns are great. I feel it's one of the best weapons you can take here. Stitcher, of course, even Pharaoh paired with a Stitcher works. I would advise against taking an Osprey on this map. Shotguns and grenades plus mines and all kinds of gadgets are awesome. I'll talk more about gear in my next video, by the way. Stay tuned for that one. So, final thoughts now. I love the map, but I feel it's not providing enough loot opportunities unless you're talking about looting fallen raiders. So you can't come on Stella Montis and loot in peace like you can do on some of the other maps. No. In this one, you come to fight other raiders for loot. It's a good feeling when you feel you cleared an entire lobby and you just own the place. As I said in the beginning of the video, this is a PvP paradise. Very cool details everywhere you look, very atmospheric lighting if you're not one of those guys who turn everything down to have the edge in PvP. And the maze-like feeling you have while wandering Stella Montis put this map comfortably between, I don't know, the bigger maps like Dam, Spaceport, Blue Gate, and of course Buried City. It's right there in the middle. It has a place in this game for sure, giving different players different opportunities. But yeah, stay tuned for my next Arc Raiders video where I'll have a hot take and talk about gear-based matchmaking this game apparently has. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and see you in the next one. The map definitely has some bugs, but nothing groundbreaking, so there's no complaints on this front. Everything works perfectly with some minor exceptions.
Mai vin player.
Unde?